Hi, Bill Caskey here again with Q&A. Today's is interesting. We're going to talk about what do you say when the prospect says, my budget was cut, or some semblance of that. I don't have the money in the budget. I don't have any budget. I'm working with 50% less. I mean, you're going to hear that all the time anyway. So I was just handed this question as I sat in my trusty little stool today. So I'm going to just kind of wing this one because I haven't thought about this, but it is something we get quite often. So I think I can give you some tips here. When a prospect says their budget is cut, here's what that really means. Because, you know, we talk about how the prospect, what they say and what they mean are two totally different things. This line in between here is a solid line. A lot of times you might say the prospect lies. I don't prefer to look at it quite that way, although I have in the past. I just think sometimes people say certain things and they mean certain things, and you've got to dissect and discern what does that mean. What it typically means when someone says, I don't have any money in the budget, so I'm going to say no money equals no problem. No money equals no problem. What I mean by that is when someone says I have no money in the budget, it means that I don't have the belief that I have a problem worth finding the money. I had a company, one of our clients was calling on a large company. I won't even say the name because it's a brand name, but they're $1 billion company. And my client sells a $50,000 thing to a $1 billion company. And they went in and started talking to some people. They got some interest, seemed to be some things moving forward. And then the buying person calls them back and says, you know what, we just don't have any money for that this year. Well, I got to tell you, they're a $1 billion company. They're a publicly traded company. They make 12 to 14% profit margin, very profitable company. What does that equal? They make 120 million, is that? No, yeah, $120 million a year in profit. They can find 50 grand. What they didn't have was the belief process and set that they needed and had to spend that money to solve the problem. So what you have to find out when you hear that thing about I got no money in the budget, you've got to go back to, have you identified a problem? Have you identified any kind of a pain, any kind of a possibility in the prospect's business that your solution will solve? If you haven't, you're going to hear this all the time. If you hear this all the time, I will guarantee you, you're not doing a good job of finding the pain, the problem, or the possibility. So what you have to do is ask the questions that yield this, that has the prospect telling you, let me tell you why I'm interested, Mr. Salesperson, in this product, because I have problem number 1, problem number 2, possibility number 3, and if I don't get this fixed, it's costing me $1 million a year. If it's costing the prospect $1 million a year to have a problem you can solve for $50,000, they will find the money. But if there's been no discussion about how much the problem costs, the money is irrelevant. Hope that helps. Go to caskey1.com/blog. Go to sameGameNewRules.com, and also we have a podcast at Advanced Selling Podcast. Join you next week on Q&A.